You're listening to a DM podcast.
Welcome to Over the Back Fence. I'm Di Edwards.
I'm Nicola Dale, and we're buddies of nearly 4 decades. And yes, we actually do happen to share a back fence.
We do. We love parties, people, inspirational stories, and honestly, making the most out of life.
So join us as we open our hearts, share our stories, and hear from some of the most inspirational people in the world, and have a laugh along the way.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Hi everyone, this is Sam, the producer from Over the Back Fence. I just wanted to jump on and let you know that there is a content warning for this episode. In this interview, we discuss some pretty heavy topics around addiction, alcoholism, and suicide. So if this is something that feels like it could be triggering for you, we recommend that you skip this episode or come back to it at another time when you're feeling ready. For everyone else, this is a really inspiring story and we hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening.
Well, Nicola, 2024.
And February.
It's the year of adapting. And, you know, if you seek to make some sort of changes in your world, in your life, one of our interviews with Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, her one there
Inspiring.
is inspiring. A
Massive
month
change.
And it really is like her choice then of stopping drinking and her journey doing that. And I tell you what, now in February, it seems to be a month where a lot of people then take stock of
You
themselves.
do, New Year.
Yeah, and it seems to be a bit on trend too. A lot of people
is.
now aren't drinking as much.
I know.
You know, she's got a remarkable story. You're just going to, be blown away really by courage and
how what I loved most about that interview was her pure honesty, particularly about a family, who were like, right, it's either us or the drink sort of thing. Like off they went. And it's like, whoa, shock tactics. And it worked. She ended up going, they are everything to me. What am I doing? Wake up, make change. But we're not even talking about that. 2024, as you were just saying, a fresh new year, a fresh start. If you feel stuck, things weighing you down, just reassess where you're at and feel it. And hopefully something like Lisa's interview will help you along that journey to make that change.
Because you're not alone, and I think it's a good thing is to reach out and get support.
Join
Lisa
us at
got
the back
support.
fence.
Yeah, join us at the back fence, and we're here to be support for you that we hope that we can motivate and inspire you and have a little giggle along the way as
absolutely.
well. Now, I'm sure you'll just enjoy Lisa.
She's fabulous. Enjoy, guys.
This is a really special one because we've got Lisa Greenberg on, who's got the most remarkable story and a really courageous story, and a story which, we're going to hear and you'll share a lot more of. But, beautiful big smile. But behind the smile, Lisa wore a big mask.
Yeah.
Very big mask.
Yeah, big mask.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah,
And,
massive.
and everyone from the outside would be looking into Lisa's life, on the red carpet and living it all up. And it was all going well until it wasn't. So we'll hear all about it, and that's sort of with
So
sobriety.
welcome.
So
Thank you. I'm very, very grateful to be
To
here.
Over the Back Fence. This is where we all hang. Everything's chilled.
I'm loving
and
the
we're
chill.
going to start you at the beginning.
Sounds good to me.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Tell us something. Let's just open the little window and have a peek outside and have a look at Lisa's life. Firstly, not drinking.
Yep.
To drinking,
Yep.
to sobriety. So
Yep.
just paint a picture for us.
Sure. I was brought up in a very loving household. My parents are still married. No trauma, capital T or little t. I went to, I had a great education. I went to a private school. Everything was externally perfect. I've got a sister. We had great family holidays. I had the bike with the flowers on the seat and the basket on the front. Everything was fabulous. But now with the benefit of hindsight, I can see that I was never really comfortable in my skin. I was always striving to be someone that I wasn't internally. So it was never a big deal, but, that power of hindsight's quite incredible. And I love to use the movie Grease because that is, I think, my favourite movie. Not I think it is my favourite movie. And I saw myself as Sandra Dee with the big skirt and the rules girl. I was the prefect at school. And I wanted to be Sandy in the black tights with the red lipstick and the cigarette. That's who I wanted to be, but it wasn't who I was. But that's who I aspired, and I just was itchy, like why why aren't I a bit more edgy? Why aren't I Sandy? Why am I Sandra Dee? And I guess when I had my first sip of alcohol at 17, I wasn't an early drinker.
So, yeah.
I felt the Lisa rules. Relax. And it was like I
Fascinating.
got
Just in that very
closer.
First drink.
Fascinating.
Yes.
And that feeling, awareness around it.
Yeah. And by no means was it out of control, but I almost felt the black tides shimmying on. You know, it wasn't dramatic, but it was the Lisa rules that I've always held myself accountable to just softened.
Wow.
That's interesting, your awareness.
Yes. I
And
find
that's
that
the benefit
amazing.
of hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just thought, this is nice. This is who I can be. Now I know I can choose to be that person anytime I like. I don't need alcohol to give me permission, but I didn't know that at the time. And so, you know, life continued.
You were a fitness instructor?
I did my 20s were a really busy time. I did a sports science degree. I
girl.
was working at the local gym. I was the aerobics queen.
Can't you see it doing
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was the aerobics
I did that
queen.
too, didn't you?
I
You
did.
that.
In Martinique in the
Lovely.
Caribbean.
Yes.
Yes.
Loved it.
Best. It was the
Except
best
I was
time.
drinking as I was exercising.
Well, I
No,
was
the
drinking
bar
then
was next
too.
door.
Yeah,
What would you
it was the
expect?
80s,
It's Club
guy, you
Med.
know.
It was Club Med.
And then we went and worked it off. You know, that's what we did with the
Thank you.
G-string
It's
leotard.
called a
And yeah,
balance.
that's right.
So
that's
okay,
right.
so enjoying the fact that can make you feel so much more
Yep.
confident. You're the fitness instructor,
I was
doing
a
the
fitness
aerobics,
instructor,
all of that
loved
going
it
on.
all.
Yeah.
Met my husband, my gorgeous husband, who I
We love him.
adore.
I don't even know him.
He's a beautiful man. I met him when I was 24. We got engaged at 25. We got married at 26. I had my daughter at 27, and I had my son at 29. So it was a very
let me
busy
put a heart
time.
around it.
Yeah.
You know, like that sounds so
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes, doesn't it?
So I'm loving this picture you're painting of
and
your
that,
life.
That
Yeah.
gives you an idea.
Yeah.
And everything was, in fact, we had no money. We lived in this tiny little crappy unit, but we were just so in love, and we had, you know, I finished my degree pregnant. I did my last exams about 25 months pregnant, and and then we had our daughter, and life was fantastic. And I was still a normal drinker, if you want to say
Yes,
that.
I get
was always
that.
a party girl.
Yeah.
I was always the party girl, but I was certainly under control, and I didn't feel the need to drink beyond what other people
Can I
were
just
drinking.
stop there? That's
Yeah.
quite interesting because, you know, other people have spoken to have had it from when they were like 19,
Yes.
20, and they knew that slippery slope and it affected them
Yeah.
from a really young age. So it's interesting whether would you put that down to family life or just how you are, Lisa?
Look, or as
Grease
a
lightning.
Yes, that's right. I think, you know, I've looked into it now as a sports scientist. So I believe that we've all got different genes,
Yeah.
but it's the external environment that activates those genes.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, if
Yeah.
I had self-belief, self-love, self-worth, that alcoholic gene could have laid dormant forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but as I got older,
Alcoholic genes are
Yes.
passed down
So,
through
yes, there is,
because I've seen that in a family.
yes, but it
Yes,
doesn't mean I
yes.
have to activate it. It's,
No, well said.
You know, it's, and what do they say? Genes, they load the gun, but environment pulls the trigger. And it was
Yes.
my environment that pulled the trigger because, and I'm not blaming environment, I'm completely owning this. As I got older and Todd got a really big job, he was CEO of the NRL.
Which is huge.
Huge,
Yeah,
massive job.
yeah.
I had 2 kids. I had a gym at this stage. I was training
You
women.
owned the gym?
I owned the
Oh, my
gym.
God.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
No, you're not.
I owned
I'm
a
loving
gym
the
for 30
timeline.
years and loved it, loved it, loved it. Decided that I would close it down. I loved helping women. I loved helping them feel inspired and just giving them strength and muscle and not just trying to be a little tiny skinny thing, but hey, you know, that empowerment for me was what I loved. And then I just sort of thought, oh, I need a break. I'm going to be Todd's wife. I'll be a bit more of a mum. But that was probably not a great decision. Again, power of
But it
hindsight.
was.
But it was what it was,
what it
right?
was
Yep.
what it is,
So
yeah.
then I closed it down and I lost my purpose. I lost my
Yeah.
way. The
Yeah.
kids were old enough. They were 18, 16.
That's
they
so
didn't
interesting,
need me.
isn't it? That
Yes.
acknowledgement
Yeah.
too of maybe when you sort of think of different things and people listening,
Yes.
don't ever lose your purpose,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
it's easier said than done,
Yes.
and it's always as you say in hindsight. But it's like leaving your job.
But I'm an
doing
addict. I do
that.
everything either black or white.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I could have
Yes.
said I'll just cut it down it's 3 days a week.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm an addict. I went, no, we're going to
Yeah.
stop it altogether.
But a lot of women go through this, Lisa. This is not just
Exactly.
your story.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not diluting it, just saying that in this podcast this year, the amount of women that have sat in that chair.
And men too.
And men,
Yes,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. As human beings who family, work, whatever, and they've given up something that they were passionate about.
Exactly.
It might have been painting, it might have been walking,
Yes.
whatever.
And they lose their way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm trying to normalise that a little bit.
Because it's
but-
not just a story about alcohol.
Yes.
I mean, that was
Yes.
my coping mechanism. It's the
Absolutely.
fact that I didn't have to do that. And as we said, you know, it's always environment in my belief.
So sense of purpose has moved to the left
Yes.
field, and you're stepping
Yes.
forward,
Yep.
backing the beautiful
and my
husband
husband's
Todd.
star is rising.
Yeah, yeah.
And
your children growing
and
up.
they don't need me as such. I was no longer helping these women, and I started to very quickly lose my self-belief, self-love, self-worth. And it was quite a progressive, slow fall, demise. And
I'm
as
getting emotional.
as
Yeah,
Todd's
yeah.
star rose, mine was falling. Now, I don't blame Todd by any
No, of
means,
course
because
not.
if I had healthy self-love
Yeah.
and his star was rising, I could be beside him saying,
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Yep.
Because it's not a seesaw. It's not like he's up and I have to be down.
No.
It was because I just looked in the mirror and thought, you're a pathetic loser.
Oh,
you are
wow.
a pathetic woman.
Why would you say that to the mirror?
Because I would look at myself and just think, you've got nothing to add.
Because there's no personal substance.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
how you
Yeah.
felt. So you were what, in your 40s, Lisa?
I was
when this
40,
sort of really
48 when I
amplified?
got sober. So I was 46 to 48 was when I was in massive addiction.
So
Massive.
tell us about
Yeah,
that. Tell us,
head up to that.
Tell us like what a day would
I'm
be
just
like.
loving this journey. I feel like I'm ready to
Yeah,
walk.
no, and so Todd Star rose. We were going out with politicians and, you know, really heavy hitters. And because I thought, I've got no value to add, I've got nothing to talk to these people about. So I would start to have a few sneaky wines before we left, because that was my courage. That was my self-belief.
Yeah.
So I would have a few, and then I'd think, I can add some value now. But of course, alcoholism is a very progressive disease that you need more and more and more to get that same feel. Now,
For some people, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm going to emphasize.
Absolutely.
Because there's some people probably, I'm switching off, I love to drink. Well, this isn't an anti-drink
No.
situation. This is someone that's gone down the rabbit hole. This
That's
is a whole
exactly
different
right.
story.
Yeah.
That's exactly
so
right.
we need to sort of bring
I
that
think
to
so
the
too.
fore.
And also
you know?
acknowledge.
Because, you know, there's people go, all these do-gooders. Well, hold on.
No, I'm saying
Back
if you
off.
want
Yeah.
to drink,
Lisa's
absolutely
the opposite
fine.
to that, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
I'll
know?
pour you a
and,
wine.
and hang in there
Yeah.
because you got to hear the story where she leads this,
What-
and it's beautiful.
What my message is, and I know we're jumping ahead, is I think if you want to have a drink, go for it. I will pour you a wine. I will sit with you girls and have a wine. I choose not to drink because I know where it takes me, but I would also say, are you drinking for pleasure or are you drinking for self-esteem? And if it's self-esteem,
Say
then
that
I
when
think
someone
that's
in
the
the bar.
wrong.
That's right, Di. Self-esteem.
Are you drinking for pleasure
Exactly.
or self-esteem?
Yes.
That's right.
And that's
you
the
go,
difference.
I like the taste.
And that's the
So,
difference,
yeah,
right?
it's true.
If you're
It
drinking
is.
for the effect, then
Yeah.
then there's the problem.
Yeah.
And I was drinking.
Tell us some
because-
rock bottom moments.
Okay.
Like, I just want to stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
Okay, so then I was hiding it very well, but it was still fairly normal. I'd have a couple of wines before we left. I'd take a couple of wines as I'm cooking, but then I realised I needed more and more and more. So then it had to get hidden in coffee cups. So I would pour the wine into a coffee cup.
During the day or
it was probably afternoonish.
Okay, yeah.
Because I thought this isn't good. I guess deep down I knew this was not good
Yes,
behaviour.
yes.
Good, bad, I hate those words. It wasn't empowering behaviour.
And what about wrapping the bottles in newspaper?
that was-
because you didn't want them
I didn't want them
clanging,
clinking.
and everyone would hear it.
Yes. So that 18 months of
God, if you
absolute
heard the bottles in
addiction-
my garbage when the truck comes, I go, oh no, run!
But you don't have to hide it because you
No,
know
I
that
just
there's no
laugh.
shame.
The neighbours go,
Yeah.
bloody dies, Ben.
See,
Tell
that's
us,
right.
Lisa, about some of the, like, you're there and you have your sneaky drinks, and then, like, what's some of the examples of, if you don't mind sharing,
of course.
of
Yeah.
some of those really embarrassing moments,
Yes.
you know, and some of those times when you
No
had
one,
to tell
my
porcupines.
mask,
and-
my mask was so good.
Yes.
No one knew. So
Wow.
everyone thought I was living this amazing life. We had the waterfront home, I had the BMW, I had the clothes. And that actually made me feel more guilty. Why do I have to drink when I have all of these things I'd aspired to have. So I would drink more and more and more. The kids and Todd started to notice.
In what sense were you?
I would
Like, how would
slur
you
my
react?
words,
Oh, interesting.
and I was still up at 5 a.m. because I'd train clients all day, but then I'd black out. I'd be blacked out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd say, "How dare you accuse me of blacking out? It's because I'm up early."
Right.
And there's
Smart.
two. Yes,
Yeah, and
yes,
defensive, I guess.
very
too.
defensive.
Yes.
And there's two personality traits that I despise. One is lying, and one is selfishness. Addiction for me and for all the people I know in addiction, it makes us liars and it makes us selfish. And that's not who I am intrinsically,
core,
but
yeah.
that's what addiction does to me.
Oh, you're so brave to share that.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's like they're
important.
hard things to say
Well,
and
when
to
I did,
own it.
when I did an
It's
article,
really courageous.
I did a cover story on Body and Soul, and the kids were pretty mortified because there was one bit on the inside, and I said, when I was in active addiction, if there was a Mack truck coming and there was a bottle of wine and I had to throw my children in front of a truck to get it, I would have.
So you love the alcohol more than your
Wow,
family.
That's rock bottom.
And
At
I
that
only
stage.
share
That's
that
rock
Wow.
bottom.
to show the power. Because people don't understand. They say, just don't
No.
drink. I wish.
Yes.
But it's the disease,
Yes.
isn't it,
It
Lisa?
is.
And
It is
but
a
I
disease,
think people
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know that, or a lot of us. It took me
I
years
didn't
to
know
really
that.
they don't
No.
honour that, do they?
No, well, you
Yeah.
sort of think,
Yeah.
from there, it's just
Yeah.
going to be a
have
bit of a
another.
problem with alcohol, that it's actually a
That's right.
disease.
It's recognised
So
by
it's-
World Health.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a disease. I just thought, Lisa, get yourself together.
But there's sometimes you'd wake up in the morning and you'd go, oh, who do I need to apologise
Yes.
to?
Yes, and I would
Or,
always
you
check
know,
my
Well, I've
phone.
done that.
like that.
Yeah, but we've all done that. But
Who have you woken up
Nicola,
next
it's
to?
usually
Yeah.
Nicola.
I
Nicola,
better get over
what,
the fence.
what did I do? Exactly. I've got to jump over the
right.
back fence.
Joe, what happened?
but that's the
We do
difference,
share a
right?
fence,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so,
the difference.
Okay, so we have to go to the classic
Yes.
Christmas 2017.
By this stage, I was hiding. I was just out of control, lying, hiding drinks, and the thought of not drinking again was so abhorrent to me. I thought I may as well die.
Whoa.
I may as well die because life is. It's incomprehensible without alcohol. So yeah, I don't remember 2017 Christmas being anything other than just another embarrassing time. But by this stage, the kids were saying to me, "Please, can you not drink? Please, can you not drink?" And Todd saying, "Can you not drink?" So it was obvious then.
Was there other people there? Like, or was it just your immediate
family, and now
Like
again,
in-laws and things
they've
like
said
that?
to me they thought I was massively into drugs. Now I've never taken a drug in my life, thank
Wow.
God. And when I went to rehab, they said you went down so fast. If you added drugs to that equation, who knows what would have happened, and we don't have to worry about that.
No.
But I think it was about January or February. I agreed to do a rehab stint, but I did it for my family because I thought I'm
But
actually
how did
fine.
you get there?
Yeah.
So tell us about
What
the thing
promoted
of,
you to do
yeah.
that?
I was
prompted
just
you?
I was just not a good person. I was lying. I was blacking out.
Did the family confront you at any stage?
They did, and they said, "Why can't you stop drinking?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Because I don't want to." But then I went to a rehab because of my family.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they think I've got a problem. I don't have a problem.
So it was just a clinical
This was
sort of
I went to
rehab, yeah.
Thailand.
Okay.
I went to
Okay.
Thailand for a
Wow.
rehab.
And were you like in denial still then?
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
just
really.
thought, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. And I was such a selfish person that when they dropped me at the airport and I was like, I'm doing this for you guys, like, how dare you send me away? Todd had put some money in my account and I thought, screw you all. I went up to Gucci and I spent that money on shoes and a handbag.
I should laugh.
Which was a nice handbag,
What's a
though.
girl to do, Nicola?
Exactly.
Truly.
Thailand, darling.
I know.
fake
She could
it.
have had a copy
Oh.
one there.
No, I went the real thing. And then I
Oh
went to
my
rehab.
God, that's so
Oh,
funny.
that you are hilarious. That is.
But that was the
But I'm waiting for you to
selfishness.
say you
It's
went to
not
the
funny,
bar.
But it's funny. Yeah.
No, I drank all the way over on the plane.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
did
With
3
your
weeks.
handbag?
Yeah, with my new handbag and shoes.
She could put some stuff in her handbag.
It's so
too.
true. That's
Yeah.
So okay,
But
so
I had
that's
3 weeks
amazing.
of no drinking and I
Drank
went
on the
to
way
sea.
over. You went to a rehab. There's no
3
alcohol
weeks.
there,
Yep.
and you were fine.
Fine.
Everyone's
And then I
different.
drank all the way home.
Oh, don't you, now this is really powerful. Drank all the way there, shopped till she dropped, did the rehab,
The naughty girl.
cold
a bit.
turkey,
Yeah.
no reaction,
Yeah.
and then drank all the way back.
Yeah.
My God.
So it was good till it wasn't.
That's right.
Isn't it?
And then I was like,
comes
okay,
back-
see, I've got this. I told you I was
Yeah.
fine.
Unbelievable.
I told you I was fine. I did 3 weeks. And then it got worse.
In what way?
It got worse that I was drinking 2 bottles of wine every day.
Wow.
There was spirits involved as well. And that was when Todd had got some advice from a psychologist to say, if it's as bad as you're telling me it is, you need to set her a boundary. But like a child, if you're going to set this, you need to be prepared to follow through. So they said to me, if you drink again, we will leave the home.
He said to you, if you drink it, we as in
Him and the
husband
children.
and all the children,
Two
I've got
children.
goosebumps again, all going to leave home.
Yeah. Yeah. And I said, yeah, no worries. So they
Why,
came
were you
home.
angry at them?
No,
or
I
were
just said,
you
I
like,
can
yeah,
do this,
whatever?
no worries.
Yeah.
So they came home one day
Yeah.
and I was blacked out on the floor. And Todd said, I told you that we would leave if you drank again. And he packed his bags and he packed the kids up, and they were 16, 18, and he walked up the stairs. And, you know, I'd love to tell you that was my rock bottom, but it wasn't, because my initial reaction was, see ya, I don't even have to hold the bottles anymore.
Oh, gosh.
And that is
Lisa.
the
It's
disgusting,
sad, isn't it? You know,
abhorrent
like, it's
part.
sad.
Yep.
Yes.
And for 3 weeks,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad.
I stayed home, but I knew in my heart... Drinking. I stopped
Poor thing,
training,
That's so awful.
and I
isn't it?
didn't sleep in my bed because I thought, Lisa, you are such a disgusting, abhorrent person. You don't deserve a bed. So I would get in the car, I'd go and buy cases of wine. I'd lay on the floorboards. I'd drink. I'd black out. I'd drink. I'd black out. I'd cry. And I did that for about 3 weeks. People said they popped in to see me. I don't remember. Wow. I didn't shower. I didn't dress. I didn't train.
Self-punishment, really,
Yeah.
wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
from your
I had to
husband doing
annihilate
it.
myself.
It's killing me. What was the turning point?
For 3 weeks I did that, and then I thought, I'm actually out of here. I was suicidal because I thought, I thought, you know, my children deserve a better mum.
Oh, Lisa. Oh,
I hear you.
It still makes me
I know.
so
No, I
know,
hear
it
you.
would
And I
too,
thought
it
Todd
would.
deserves a better
Yeah.
wife.
See, it finally broke her, really.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
You know, which
yeah.
is so. Did they contact you during that
They
time?
did, and I don't remember because I was
No.
just numb.
Did someone hold your hand, taking you to a place,
Well,
or?
You know, I thought I'll just end it. Todd will cry for a bit. The kids will cry for a day or two, but they will. Todd will get a better wife. The kids will get a better mum. They deserve better. I am screwing up their lives. One day I laid on that floor and I looked up at the ceiling, and it sounds so stupid, but it's as honest as I'm looking at you two, that I said, I can't do this anymore. Help. Now, I'm a lapsed Catholic. I believe there's something.
I'm a
but-
lapsed Catholic.
Yeah.
Guys,
get
part of
it,
the clan.
Yeah, you're part of my class.
Yeah, she's part
But
of
I
my
just
class.
went, there's
On the other
something
side
there.
of the
Yeah.
fence.
So you were like, and then there was
Children of the universe.
I just thought, I got it. There was a message as clear as I'm looking up there that said, you need to go to a 12-step. And my initial reaction was, I'm too good to go to 12-step. I'm not going to sit and drink instant coffee.
Even
on
after
plastic
all
chairs.
this period of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, that ego was there. But I thought, no, I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to drive far away because I didn't want media to follow me and say, Todd Greenberg's wife's an alcoholic. How embarrassing. So I got in the car. I rang Todd, and I remember saying, I'm going to do a 12-step program. Why would he believe me? I'd lied to him 1,000
Yes.
times.
Yeah.
Here
I
we
drove
go.
out, yeah,
Of course.
and I
Yeah.
thought on the way home, I've told them that I'm trying, and on the way home, I'm off the gap. I'm done.
Oh, my
no.
God.
I've got
Yeah.
goosebumps there.
Lisa.
That was my
that's
plan.
Terrible.
And I sat
Oh,
down in this
that's-
meeting, and this gorgeous girl
no,
came and sat
really?
next to me,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
And
that's-
she was designer. She was diamonds, and I thought
Gucci.
she must be lost. Wonder what she's doing here. She mustn't
She
know this
was
is a 12-step.
lost.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I
literally.
thought an alcoholic was a
Of
park bench
course.
drunk.
Yes,
Yeah.
Not this gorgeous
Mm-hmm.
designer, beautiful woman. And she said she could see in my eyes what I was going to do because she'd been there. She was 8 years sober. So she took me out, she gave me a coffee, and she said, I want you to go home, I want you to ring this rehab, and I want you to go there. And it was like someone had opened the window just this much. And I thought, maybe it's not just me. Maybe I can fix me. Maybe there's something.
So she's like an angel that
I
just
call her my angel, and I saw her
Yes.
this morning, believe it
Oh
or
my
not.
God.
really?
Okay,
Yeah.
triple
Yeah.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
now. She's
So I
like-
got in the car, I drove home,
I love
called
this
the
woman.
rehab, and I got in. It was like...
Oh, can I ask
had-
what sort of rehab is? Some sort of
It was,
private?
it was South Pacific. I went in there and I went back to being Sandra Dee. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So I went there and I thought, this is my second chance at life. Anything that was optional, I'll do it. I'll do it. Can someone collect the towels? I'll do it.
You're
I
the
just
good
thought,
girl.
I
The
just wanted
prefects
to
come
do
back.
everything. I wanted to learn what I could, and I did. And
How long were you there for?
3 weeks. And
There's something about you with 3 weeks.
I know, see?
Yeah.
And I haven't had a drink since that day.
Now, can you hit me with the date when you left
30th
that?
of June 2018.
Okay, 2018. And how's that going for you?
Fabulous.
Wow.
Fabulous. And I follow a program. I am grateful every day. I live this life that is beyond phenomenal. I thought sobriety was going to be the most friggin' boring thing in the world. I had my knitting needles out like, ugh.
Yeah.
Thank God I've had 48 years of drinking because, this is, well, not 48 years of drinking, but 48 years of life, because sobriety is going to be boring. Sobriety is the best thing in my life. I've got clarity, I've got focus, I've just got like magic in my life, and I get to give back to other women I mentor. My life is, I used to hear people say, I'm a grateful alcoholic. I think you're a loser, as if you'd ever say that. Guess what I say now? I'm a grateful alcoholic. My marriage is beyond phenomenal.
He's
so
supported you all the way
beautiful.
through.
He is, our marriage
Even walking
is
out
amazing.
on you was the greatest gift.
He saved my life.
Yep.
My children who said
Just
to
saw
me,
the 60 Minutes interview with you
Yeah.
both. I just
Yes,
Nicola
yes.
said
and
it,
my
just
children who said, we're
beautiful.
done, we're done. Rightly so, because I was an abhorrent mother.
Yeah.
Now I am closer than ever. I'm a better
So
mother.
you live your truth.
And, you
Throw
can...
the masks
You're
away.
the first
Yeah.
podcast I can share
Except for
this
my
with.
infrared mask that I wear in the morning.
What's the
Yeah, they're
new-
good.
What's the news
The
you can
news
share?
is
So-
that
Yes.
I am going to be a grandmother.
Yahoo! Give me a high five.
My daughter said, you're out of my life. You will never be involved. And now she wanted to share it with me first off. Mum, you're going to be a grandmother. And if I'm not sober, I have nothing. So this little boy can now be a sober grandma. I can be a rockin' grandma because I'm sober. But if I have a drink, all bets are off. If I have a drink, I lose everything. My relationship with my daughter is beyond phenomenal. My relationship with my son is beyond amazing. My husband and I are like teenagers again. We are just...
Look at this honesty.
Yeah.
I love
Communicating,
that.
guys.
Yeah.
you know,
And it's because I'm
being
sober
Can I
and I-
ask, do they
Yeah.
drink?
Yeah.
And your children as
Yeah.
well? Because sometimes I was sort of thinking if they've
And
seen
Todd.
you,
Yeah.
you see what you don't like,
Yeah.
you think, I don't want to.
Yeah, but they
go down
don't.
that path."
They just will have one or two and stop.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, I just thought the stats for women drinking, was it
Massive.
45 to 65? I mean, in the dangerous
Yeah.
drinking level. Is
Yeah.
that a fact?
One in
what-
five
Is it
seems
really
to be
one
a
in
thing.
5?
Yeah.
How's that?
When I did my 60 Minutes, I had 2,000 women DM me to say, I thought I was alone. I didn't realise there was other people out there. I didn't realise that alcoholic could look like you, Lisa. And that's why I tell my story. And I bang on about it all the time. And I try to show that sobriety isn't boring. I can have alcohol or I can have everything else, and I choose everything else.
Magnificent.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's magnificent. So
That's-
coming back to the issue in our society, I mean, it's specifically
Yeah.
the stats for women drinking.
Well, a lot of our listeners are in that age group
Yeah.
too. And,
Yeah.
and some of the things too, with women, their kids are leaving school and all of a sudden they're at that sort
It's
of
that
like
purpose
wobbly
thing
foot,
again,
that
right?
purpose.
Yes.
What do I do? Where do
Yeah.
I go? Well, I'll just have a,
Find
have a
something.
drink. Something.
Yeah.
What do you say now
I
to women
say
who are lost?
find that thing that you love and embrace it and make a choice. The power of choice is something that we all have and we forget. We can choose to take our life in any direction. And I bang on about the power of choice to everyone. I call myself the choose chick. I choose life. I choose sobriety. I choose to live. And we all have the choice. It's in us.
Yeah.
So
what is that?
choose
If someone's
something.
lying there and they're going, I can't find that choice.
But
I'm
also,
there."
like, I think there's some people
Small
listening
steps.
going,
Small steps.
What's exactly.
Small steps.
Because people also go, well, I have a drink at 5:30. Well, that's okay,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
that's right.
Like, is that dangerous drinking? I know there's a few paranoid people listening because I got to be paranoid myself then. But you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
go for lunch. If I go for
Yeah.
lunch with Nicola,
Yeah.
we'll have a few glasses of wine.
Yep.
And then I'll have my 5:30 vodka tonic.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
that's it. I stop. I don't have any more.
that's the
Can
difference.
stop. See,
Right.
some
That's the
people-
difference.
Yes.
I think
We
it's
can't have one and
genetically
See,
too.
dangerous drinking is what? Like they
Well,
continue.
an alcoholic is if
Yeah.
I have one,
Yep.
get out of my way.
Right on.
So that's why I thought it was the 7th or the 8th or the 10th drink
Yes.
that did it to me. It's
Yes.
the first. Because I don't respond the same way.
amazing.
So Todd can have a beer and stop
Yep.
halfway, and I
Yep.
say, that's not
Nicola
normal. And
can
he said,
too, yeah.
remember, Elise, you're not normal. I went, oh, yeah, I'm not normal. You're normal because you can. So
Well, I say,
I
not,
can't.
what not? I'll drink the other half of yours. But
Yeah.
no, so that's interesting. So
Yeah.
it's the first one.
Yes, and I have a different psychological reaction. I don't respond like you do. So I just can't have the first drink.
And Lisa, we all know
Amazing.
people too,
Yeah.
they'll have that first drink and all of a sudden they'll have a massive personality change.
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah.
saying it gave you that
Oh, yeah.
confidence
Yes.
and other people can be that hidden things, but
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people have that complete
Aggro.
flip
Yes.
and can turn on you
Yeah.
and you go, wow.
Well, look what I said about the
And
Mac
that's
truck.
that-
Snap.
yes.
That's not who I am. I mean, you've known me for a couple of minutes, and whatever, but you know I'm not a selfish person.
Yes.
I'm not a liar. But you put some wine in me, and I am pushing anyone out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mask.
Yep.
And when to take the mask off is frightening. So it's not just about learning to live without alcohol, it's learning to like the person here. People who are saying, oh, how do I make changes? It's like, okay, I'm a sports scientist. If someone said to me, I want to run a half marathon, Lisa, I wouldn't say, sneakers on, let's go and do 20K. I'd say, let's walk to the letterbox and back. Now let's run
Baby
to the
steps,
letterbox.
as you said.
But it's not
Yeah.
sexy. Baby
No.
steps aren't sexy.
Yeah.
But that's
Yes.
the reality
Work.
though.
Because everyone's in a hurry. I want it now. I want it now. I
That's
want it
right.
now.
But that's the
Slow
reality.
down.
It's just
Yeah.
great sort of to know that because, so many people do feel lost.
Yeah.
And, you need that inspiration.
Yeah.
And hearing stories
Well,
like you, Lisa, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And I don't want it to. I don't want to just be the face of sobriety
No.
because then
No.
people say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't relate." No,
No.
it's not about that. It's
Yeah.
about self-belief, self-love, self-worth, and that's what I said on 60 Minutes. If you don't have those three, then you're looking externally. You're shopping or your drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. But you've got to work on this, and that's harder than that.
That's
So have you
No,
tried
I
any
think
other
that's a
Gucci
very good
handbags
point.
since
Yeah.
then?
Well, you never know.
few more.
You never
Well,
know.
after hearing Todd on 60 Minutes with his teary eyes going, she's done the full 360 and look where she is now, and he was teary. I thought, oh,
Yeah.
That's
time to get
beautiful.
a
No,
few
we'll
bags.
talk about because you've been
Yeah.
married. What are some of your tips in a long-term marriage?
I think communication. You can't solve a secret if you don't communicate. And, that great expression of 10 minutes of discomfort or 10 months of resentment, that
Yeah,
uncomfortable
what you resist
discussion.
persists.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
love
a
that
great
one.
thing for
Yeah.
people to hear that because people a lot of times are afraid to actually bring up
Yeah.
that really awkward thing or
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable
And it is
or it's going to make
hard.
them feel uncomfortable. So you go, oh look, it's
Forget
okay,
about it.
forget it.
So
Yeah.
it
But
builds.
it builds up. So that
Yeah.
discomfort,
It's okay.
walk through it.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get through it. But it's a power of choice. What are you going to choose? Don't be a victim. We've all got the power of choice. We had it as kids. We never thought about it. We just did what we wanted to do. If you want to have a tantrum in the middle of the shops, we did. And then we got over it. But we're so worried about what people are going to think of us. And I was terrified to say I was an alcoholic. And now I couldn't care less. I'm an alcoholic.
And
but I'm
Lisa,
sober.
what do you do if you see, or you might have a friend or see someone and you can tell
Yeah.
that
Yep.
they've really
You can pick
got a
it.
problem?
Yep.
How do you gently guide them, or what do you
I've
say? Or
learned-
for listeners
Yeah.
to say,
That's
we all
difficult.
know
Very.
'Cause you,
people.
like you weren't listening.
How do we address it
Yeah.
when we all know
It's like
someone?
fitness. It's like someone who says, I want to lose 10 kilos. Until they come to me, then I'll make a suggestion. I will never lecture because no one wants to be lectured. I will only ever suggest. This is my suggestion, and I'll put the power back on them. But when people said to me, you've got to stop drinking, I said, see ya.
Yeah.
Until I was ready.
Yes.
And when you're ready, then you'll listen. But
See,
it's a waste of
she's
effort.
Coaching through her own
Yeah.
journey, and,
Because it's at
and you
my
navigated
lens.
all this.
No.
Yeah.
So you're the perfect person out there now giving back.
Yeah, and
in
I
so
do give
many
back.
ways.
My catch cry is choose your sober. So you ladies don't want to be sober serious. I am sober serious. I do not touch drink. Choose your sober. You might be sober curious and say, I'm sober 2 days a week. Great. That's
Yeah.
your sober curiosity. I'm sober serious. There's sober serious. There's sober curious, and there's lots in the middle. Choose your sober.
So now, being in your 50s, how's life?
Life is amazing. Life is magical. It's like fireworks. You know when you watch a firework and you go, oh, that was the best one.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. And every day I'm like, it
'Cause
just
you set your
gets
mind to just
better.
go into it.
Some people are scared, when they turn 40
No.
or turn 50,
Yeah.
60.
I am
you know.
beyond happy.
I'm lucky to
I
live
am,
each day,
yeah,
I guess,
and I'm
too.
also learning that I used to just always strive for more, and now I've got this expression where I'm happy and hungry. So I'm happy now, but I'm hungry for more. And I don't think there's anything wrong with striving, so long as you're happy in the moment. I'm happy and I'm hungry. I'm happy and I'm hungry.
And that's your
I'm happy and I'm
personality too.
hungry.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone's different.
I'm
Not everyone's
exhausted.
got that hungry,
Yeah.
I'm
gene.
sober, and I'm just. Ali Langdon said after 60 minutes, she said, "I'm exhausted talking to you."
Yeah.
And she said,
It's go, go,
"Because
go,
I'm
go.
happy."
What's ahead for you?
Ahead for me is my book. Ahead for me is Grandma Lisa.
What do we say?
Grandma
Lisa for
Lisa,
president.
Grandma Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa for prime minister.
Lisa
Yeah,
for
what's
just
ahead?
keynote
Grandmama?
speaking. Yeah, working in my fashion store.
Yeah.
Just whatever I want.
Wow.
Whatever I want.
And you've got the energy,
Whatever I
got
want.
determination,
Yeah.
you've got the
Yeah.
spirit.
And the Lisa,
watch this space.
Any other Lisa
listeners.
tips for our listeners out there? Anything
Move your
else?
body. Move your
Okay,
body.
that's
I
good.
love that
It's true.
analogy, smile. S is sober. Choose your sober. Do whatever it is you want
choose
to do.
it,
Choose your sober. M is music. Crank up that music.
Oh,
Just
You're talking my language.
Music and dance. I is inspiration. And
that's our
inclusion.
language.
I hate exclusion.
Oh,
I
yes.
hate when people are excluded.
Yeah.
So I include everyone.
Yeah.
And, just diverting a little bit, when I was in early sobriety, I was not invited to a lot of things. And I was,
Isn't that weird?
and I
that
was
because
so
they thought it was
sad.
weird.
Yes.
People
Oh,
were like,
no,
oh,
she's going
She
through
can't.
it.
Yes, she can't
yeah.
drink. So
Oh, but
not
we're having
humans.
alcohol there. And I said, but hang on. When I'd pick up the phone and say, why didn't you ask me?
Yeah.
You've known me for 20 years. They
Yeah.
said, but we had alcohol. I said, but if I was a vegetarian and you were having a barbecue.
Yes. Oh, that's
Would
great.
you say?
Remember that. That's
And they
so
said,
good.
no, but then you could choose. And I said, yeah, thank you. And I can choose. And if I'm uncomfortable, I will say to you, I'm a bit icky today. I'm going to leave.
I'm a
But give me the
vegetarian.
power of
Inclusion
choice.
is- Thank you for
Can
mentioning
always
that.
bargain.
That's good.
Inclusion.
SM.
So where are we? What's
L.
L? What was L?
Music.
Yes,
I is inclusion. L is laughter.
Yeah,
Friggin'
that's
laugh
our-
ourselves.
that's seriously our
Laughter.
language.
And
then-
E is
and
exercise.
E.
E is exercise. See?
We're getting
And we just did an
Yeah.
interview and we couldn't stop.
I get the
Isn't that
giggles.
the best?
I know,
But
it
And we
couldn't
know
talk.
it releases
Yes,
hormones.
It's very
It
rare.
works.
Sam's going, this is seriously a problem.
And E is
No, they're not going to hear
exercise.
Sam laughing louder than us. I loved
E
it.
is exercise.
Oh,
but it's got to be
right on.
muscle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
There
that's
it is.
great.
Wow,
Well, what
what
a great
fun
thing to leave
having
us with.
you
But we've got a couple
here
of
over
our-
the back fence.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
What questions do you think that we should ask?
Oh, wow. Oh, this
Lisa
I think
G.
this is a juicy
Can I
one.
ask Lacey? I'm ready.
If yeah, we'll look at her.
I'm ready.
Woohoo, hit her.
If you had an opportunity to meet your 20-year-old self,
Yep.
what would you say to her and why?
You know, that is so simple now. I would say believe in yourself. You are enough. You are lovable. You are worthwhile. Amplify your self-belief. You deserve to live the most incredible life.
Just love that.
That is
Lucky
beautiful.
20-year-old
I
hearing
know,
that.
that's true,
It's
yes.
beautiful.
So, if you could share a back fence with anybody on planet Earth, Lisa G, who
Okay.
would it be and why?
They may not. If I've got two back fences, I would have my daughter and her fiance on one side, and I'd have my son on the other. They may disagree,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
would love
And you're
to
sitting
have
on the
my
fence.
family. Yeah, hello.
Chew on the fat. I love that.
I
There
just
she
would love
is.
to have.
Oh, that's
I would
gorgeous.
love to have my family around me.
And how exciting with these grandsons with
Yay!
you, Lisa, and Jodie.
So excited.
And with beautiful, loving
So
grandmamas. What are they going to call you?
Whatever they like.
Sandy.
Yeah, whatever they like.
Sandy, I love that.
Whatever
It's
they
so
like.
good.
Well, look, just thank you so
Oh,
much.
Lisa.
You know, you've certainly
You are
educated
amazing.
us.
Oh,
You've educated a
you.
lot of listeners out
Thank
here.
you for the
and
opportunity to share.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you
well,
to Todd and your kids for making that
yes.
huge.
Yeah, they saved my life.
And behind a mask,
Decision.
like, you know, we
Yeah.
all can wear
Yeah.
masks.
And it's okay
You
to
know,
wear a
it
mask. We
is,
have
it's
to wear a mask
true,
sometimes,
yes.
Yeah.
but don't let it get super glued to your face.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's, take it on, take it off.
Well, I'm feeling very smiley
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
that.
very
too. That's
smiley,
really
yeah.
great.
Thanks,
you know,
Lisa.
really, thank you
That was
so much.
incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, so everyone, thank you for listening,
Yes.
and don't forget to rate and review.
Yes.
Tell your friends, and we like some rating stars. How many
we
do we
do
want?
love
What do you
rating
think
stars.
this week, Dodie? What should we
I
should we
think
ask
20
them for?
minus 3
Oh, 20
divided by
minus 3.
12.
Okay.
A lot of numbers.
Multiply
She's a
52,
mathematician,
which
though,
makes
Dodie.
it
And a sing-along.
which makes it 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5.
Yeah, there you go. You know that
Double
girl
it.
on the ABC, and she turns all those boxes and she
Yes.
does all these calculations. I'm always looking at her going, are you human? Because maths was
10
not
out of
my
5,
forte.
Lisa. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
10 out of
great.
5
Yeah.
is good.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Achievable.
Aim high, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aim high. I love
That's,
that.
you've got to
Love
choose.
that.
You've
Yeah.
got to choose.
Love
Thanks
that.
for listening,
Thanks.
everybody. Ciao,
Thanks.
ciao. Bye-bye.